How's it going, everybody? ChaoticMeatball here, and welcome back to the FireRed LeafGreen 386 challenge. So today, we're going to be taking on the region with good old Natu. How do you do? Shoutouts to Leonhardt. Congrats on 1 million subscribers, by the way. Speaking of subscribers, I'm on the drive for 50,000, and 3/4 of my audience aren't subscribed, so I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, Natu's got a pretty neat moveset, learning moves every 10 levels and starting with both Peck and Leer, getting great moves like Nightshade at level 10, and Wish at level 30. It doesn't get Psychic until level 50, but that's fine since the TM and Saffron can alleviate that restriction. We also have access to TMs like Calm Mind, Shadow Ball, and Aerial Ace, and with a super solid base 70 special attack and speed, I think we're gonna do just fine. I replaced Bulbasaur with it since I figured I'm gonna have the most trouble with Charizard at the end of the game, but hey, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I 3-shot his Charmander with Peck, winning with over half HP remaining. Well, shoot, I'm quite surprised with how fast it took him down, and it's quite easy for me to get through the Viridian Forest thanks to having a Flying-type move already. This gets me to level 10 right at the end, so I went into Brock's gym and took out his junior trainer easily before healing and taking out Brock. It took me a few attempts since Onyx uses Rock Tomb, but once I got an attempt that it didn't use it, I easily took down both Geodude and Onyx with 3 Nightshades apiece, winning the match in quick fashion. Not too often can I just fight Brock and it not be a grind fest first and foremost, and that's usually only because I have a super effective move. This isn't the case. Heck, I'm weak to rock types, so I'm quite hyped to see what I can do with Natu in this run. So I accidentally closed the game right after that, and then beat him again quite fast, so it wasn't even a luck thing, it was just a case of Onyx not using Rock Tomb or using it. Plus, it's a fairly inaccurate move, so it doesn't even matter that much at all. Route 3 and Mount Moon are quite easy thanks to Nightshade being able to take down rock types, and Peck was great for everything else. Heck, I even took on the Scientist near the beginning with the Magnemite, which I normally avoid since Steel types are usually a complete jerk to take down, especially with a Flying type. But it easily went down just like the other trainers. With the rest of the cave down, I got to the fossils and flipped heads again, so I took the Helix fossil. What's the score again? Someone remind me in the comments. I said the score last in the Igglybuff video, and I'm too lazy to find it again. After emerging, I went ahead and captured a Spearow, which I actually reset a few times for, since I kept losing all of my Pokeballs since I was out of PP by the end. Plus, I was already overleveled to the point where I just one-shot it anyway. But once I ended up getting it, I moved to Cerulean City and tried to take down Misty, but no dice. So, there's no chance of me taking her down at this equal level. I need to get a little bit more of an advantage. So, it's Rival 2 time. Sure enough, he's easy enough to take down. Though Pidgeotto is a 4-shot, which is a bit more than I'd like, but Raditz is a 1-shot with a crit, Charmander goes down to 2 Nightshades, and Abra's just a meat shield, going down to 2 Nightshades for the win. I think normal types are probably the biggest pain for me to take on right now since Peck is an only 35 power move, which is the equivalent of Tackle, so it's not too good. But I can appreciate it for being able to one-shot those pesky early game bug types like friggin' butter. Routes 24 and 25 go by with no trouble, getting Natu to the edge of level 27 and getting the SS ticket before trying Misty again. And yeah, this isn't gonna happen just yet. I got an idea, let's pull it off. I went ahead and went towards the S's and first, so I took down the Rocket and grabbed the TM for Dig, leading down to Route 6, into Vermilion City and into the SSN, no healing required. I figured if I can avoid Route 11, I will, and let's just see how many trainers I can take down in the SSN without healing. I actually took down quite a good number of them before whiting out and sending me back to Cerulean. This might be a little weird since I lose money, but whiting out means I don't have to walk all the way back to fight her, and then all the way back to fight Surge. The first 2 attempts were just BS losses since I just got hit in confusion from Water Pulse, but then a crit on the second attempt, but 3rd time's a charm, and I win with 2 Nightshades on both Staryu and Starmie, winning the second badge. Not bad, but let's jump back over to Vermilion. I went ahead and did the trade for Farfetch'd as well as getting the bike voucher before heading back into the SSN, finally facing off against my rival again. His team's evolved, but that doesn't mean I can't stuff a bunch of Nightshades into them. Well, not for Pidgeotto and Raticate, but I have Wish now for those so I can pile on the packs while I continue to heal myself. This fortunately led to a first try win, seeing as Pidgeotto was a 2-shot with Peck, only hitting a single sand attack, Eradicate was a 2-shot as well, leading to Kadabra. I resist its only attack, and Peck is still enough to break through its brittle defense, leading to Charmeleon. 2 Nightshades is more than enough to take it down, leading to getting cut. With that, I went ahead and went straight for Surge after healing up, and Nightshade was actually perfect for taking both his trainers down and himself without a problem. He leads with Voltorb, who hits me with a Shockwave as I KO with 2 Nightshades, leading to Pikachu. I went for Wish, but of course he went straight for the Thunder Wave, but I have the ability Synchronize, which paralyzes Pikachu just as well, making Surge waste a turn with a full heal that I can't do myself with my rule set. I went for Double Team a few times, so I got held down between Missing and Paralysis, just waiting for an accurate hit while alternating with Wish to take out Pikachu, leaving just his Raichu. I'm paralyzed still, and he's also going for Double Team. That is... God, this is why I don't let myself use it anymore. But I managed to hit 2 Nightshades in a row, KOing and winning the match. Not gonna lie, if Natu didn't get Wish by level up, I'd probably have to be about 10 levels higher along with a Cherry Berry to win this fight, but I'm lucky I didn't need it. So, big stretch time, Route 9, Route 10, Rock Tunnel, right before landing in Lavender Town. And I think this is the first run in a while that I didn't just immediately teach my used Pokemon the TM for return, instead just moving on to Route 8. The first mistake I noticed in this run, though, was my thought process, that's that I was waiting to get Fly when I got to Celadon. But the fact is that I could have just replaced it with Aerial Ace starting on Route 9 before Rock Tunnel. But I think my thought process was that I was waiting to get Fly when I got to Celadon, but I didn't even end up doing that either. I did end up getting the TM for Psychic. I didn't immediately learn it, but I didn't really need it just yet. Instead, finally replacing Peck for Aerial Ace when I got into Erica's gym. It's nearly double the power of Peck, and honestly could have really helped me out in Surge's gym since I had access to it thanks to Cut, but again, hindsight is 20/20. After healing though, Erica's an easy battle, one-shotting Victory Bell, Tangela, and Vileplume with an Aerial Ace each, winning the 4th badge. Honestly, with everything either getting Psychic or Aerial Ace as of late, I don't think Erica will ever be hard. And even when I'm using a water type, I can just get Ice Beam from the game corner in the same store. Moving onwards, it's Rocket Hideout time, since I can't make any more badge progression without getting the Pokeflute. So I just slaughter my way through all of the grunts, getting to Giovanni. Now you just don't owe me money, Giovanni, you owe me an apology for slowing me down, and not just leaving the scope on the table! Excuse me. Onyx is a one-shot with Psychic, Kangaskhan as well is with a crit, as is Rhyhorn. See, we could have just saved you some embarrassment, but no, you just had to sit in your comfy couch and be like, oh my god, you gotta fight me or else you can't get my scope thingy. Go f*** yourself, Giovanni. Yeah, I actually ended up teaching the TM for Psychic for the Hideout since I needed a bit more power points to get through without healing. I almost forgot, I hadn't gotten the Pokeflute yet, so I went over to the Pokemon Mansion, swept through my rival with a one-shot on Pidgeot with Psychic, 2-shot on Gyarados with Psychic and Nightshade, 1-shot with Aerial Ace on Kadabra, 1-shot on Charmeleon with Psychic, and 1-shot on Execute with Aerial Ace. Get out of my way, I need that flute baby. Alright, much better. This little bird sure does have a bloodlust. Speaking of bloodlust, it also wants another gym badge, so I just immediately skipped all of the trainers on Recycling Road to get to Fuchsia City immediately to fight Koga. Natu's only level 51 going into this fight, but literally all of Koga's Pokemon are a one-shot thanks to Psychic. It's nothing like a good old powerful stab super effective attack to sweep through an entire battle. So I flew on over back to Saffron to shoot my shot at Sylph Company, and instead of taking out every trainer like I normally do, I actually only fought one before going after my rival, and that was the required one. Yep, I'm going all out with this run. Let's see how well Natu actually does here. First attempt, here we go. Pidgeot's out first, and I at speed, hitting Psychic and lowering his special defense before getting hit with Feather Dance. Now, that'll suck when it comes to Execute and Alakazam, but I think I should be fine, finishing it off with a second Psychic. Second has Gyarados, who also lowers my attack, but also hits a super effective bite, so I went for Wish and endured a second one before KOing with a second Psychic, leading to Charizard. Somehow I actually outspeed the Charizard and hit it with a Psychic, taking a massive flamethrower before taking it out with a second Psychic, leading to Execute. Alright, time for the thing I was looking forward to the least. I went for Aerial Ace, doing less than half since I -3 attack thanks to Feather Dance and Intimidate, getting paralyzed with Stun Spore. But thanks to Synchronize, Execute's also paralyzed, so I'm able to get off a Wish and finish it off with 2 more Aerial Aces, leading to his last Pokemon, Alakazam. It literally sets up 3 Calm Minds before I can hit a single Aerial Ace, then goes for Reflect to further decrease my damage. But then goes for Future Sight instead of anything else useful. So I just shift over to Nightshade, KOing Alakazam and winning on my first try at level 53. Wow, not gonna lie, this is starting to get to Chinchu levels of obliteration. But let's see what we can do against Giovanni again. Oh yeah, I can crush him. Thanks, Psychic. One shot on Nidorino, one shot on Rhyhorn, not a one shot on Kangaskhan, though I did get hit with Fake Out and Tail Whip. Oh, so threatening. Before hitting a second Psychic and leading to Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen's surprisingly actually not a one-shot, managing to hit a measly Poison Sting, and poisoning me before I finish it off with a second Psychic. Cool. Get out. Thank you. So after this, I actually decided to take out the 5 optional trainers in the Saffron Fighting Dojo next to Sabrina's gym. Since I figured they were decently high level, I have 2 super effective moves against them, so why not? I got to level 55 before finishing that off and going to Sabrina's gym, skipping over her trainers since I can't hit them for easy super effective damage, going straight for the leader herself. She leads with Kadabra, and super shockingly, it's a one-shot with Aerial Ace, like it wasn't gonna be. Mr. Mime barely doesn't join the club, getting off a Calm Mind before getting Heal Locked, allowing me to just get a crit on my 3rd Aerial Ace, leading to Venomoth. I decided to change up the strategy a little bit, instead one-shotting it with Psychic, leading to Alakazam. Oh boy, I moved the cursor twice and pressed A, before moving the cursor back to Aerial Ace to KO with 2 Aerial Aces, winning me the badge. Also, fun fact, this is the only gym you can use an escape rope in to get out. I guess they didn't want to force people to go back through the puzzle after beating the gym leader. I flew straight back to Pallet Town afterwards and headed south towards Cinnabar, going straight into the Pokemon Mansion, and now that I've actually memorized this place like the back of my hand, I only made one mistake coming in here, and that's not having a spare escape rope to get out after grabbing the secret key. So I had to do a few little statue adjustments to escape, leading to Bladen's gym. You know, I hate the little quizzes in here. I've always been one to just fight all of the trainers since I just don't want to deal with the stupid text boxes. Just feed my bloodlust already. Blaine leads with Growlithe as I go for a Wish, setting up just in case something hits Fire Blast, but it misses as I hit a Psychic for the one-shot, leading to Arcanine. Weird, normally he sends out Ponyta next, but I'll take it. It misses Fire Blast just as well, so I hit a Psychic for half, but sadly he does massive damage with his second attempt, and I miss the KO based off of a range. He heals, so I just go for 2 Psychics, expecting it to go down, and I get 2 good ranges on both to get them down, leading to Ponyta. It goes down to a single Psychic after getting outsped, leading to his last Pokemon, Rapidash, which I also outspeed and hit Psychic, doing a bit over half. And then he misses Fire Blast for the 3rd time this fight, resulting in a second Psychic on Rapidash for the KO and the win. Alright, I mean, I guess it does have a 15% chance of missing, but I didn't expect to hit 3 15% chances in a single battle. I mean, I'll take it though. Straight to idiots, Giovanni's gym we go. I decided here to take out his trainers since they all use high-level evolved Pokemon with pretty thick teams. I mean, they usually have 5 Pokemon each, and they mostly lack in special defense. So it was easy enough for me to Psychic my way through all of them, especially after having used all 3 PP ups accessible in the region this far on it, so that I have 16 PP instead of 10. Alright, actual leader time after healing, and sure enough, one-shots aplenty. Both of his Rhyhorns are one-shots with Psychic, as is Doug Trio. Guess he's smart in holding back his poison types for last. Oh yeah, they're both one-shots as well. Whoopsie. Give me that, you freak. Get out of my sight. Go visit your son and apologize for how much of a dip you are. God, I hate him. Rivals 6 time, and the battle starts pretty smoothly as Pidgeot is a 2-shot with Psychic after forgoing Feather Dance and using a weak wing attack. Second out is Rhyhorn, a 1-shot since it's the same level as Giovanni's first Rhyhorn. Easy enough. Third out is Execute, an easy one-shot now that I'm not freaking -3 attack, thank you very much. Fourth out is Gyarados, and it hits a massive Hydro Pump as I set up Wish to heal, but he crits and I lose. Okay, well, that's probably the most shocking thing this run. I actually didn't save before fighting since I was a little bit overconfident, so I had to white out, somehow taking out his Gyarados with Lapras with a 20 level deficit before finally dying. Neat. Anyway, try number 2 and it goes much more smoothly now, doing the same things again up to Gyarados. Here I decided to go for the Wish strat again, but 2 Hydro Pumps did me in again. Alright, do I need to try something different? Well, third try, and yeah, I just did the same thing again. I probably should have just slapped a Cherry Berry on the 2, and to take out Execute for free while also setting up Wish. But this time, Gyarados just went for Rain Dance and then missed with Hydro Pump. But of course, I'm an idiot and don't just KO him. I went for Wish and got hit massively, but at least now this makes Charizard a much easier target to take down. Oh, come on, just win. You've won everything else so far. Fourth attempt leads to an actual Feather Dance, which I guess is better? Maybe? I'm not sure yet. But when Execute comes out, yeah, Aerial Ace only did half, but I wasn't paralyzed, and I took him down, leading to Gyarados yet again. It sets up Rain Dance and hits a massive Hydro Pump, but I don't remain paralyzed and into Psychic again, but I'm just too weak to take out Charizard. Come on, man, you're usually not this difficult. Maybe it's because I'm stubborn, but I will win. It's the name of the game after all. But even on the 5th attempt, I realized that I was making a mistake since Aerial Ace isn't always a one-shot on Execute. So I said screw it, Cherry Berry time. I didn't need one for Erica after all, so I may as well use one here instead. And to be honest, I still lost over and over again, so I just decided to go to Route 15 to grind a wee bit to get over to level 62 since I was so close anyway, then used 2 of the rare candies I grabbed so far, getting to level 64. Now hopefully this will be enough to help me win, and nope it's not, I'm just using all of my rare candies now, I can't afford not to. Sure enough, leveling past my problems helped, but on my winning attempt of all times, Pidgeot did a ton of damage, but I set up Wish to prevent this from happening, as well as using one against his Execute so that I'd have full health for Gyarados. This ended up working out, since I two-shotted after setting up a Rain Dance to inhibit Charizard. It didn't even matter though, since I crit with Psychic, leading to Alakazam, who only got off a Future Sight. No damage, just used the attack to set up some damage later on, which didn't even occur before I took it out with 2 Aerial Aces, winning the last major fight before the league. I can't say that I'm surprised that leveling up past my problems worked, I just needed that little boost to make certain ranges like Execute and Gyarados work out, and I'm pretty glad I did. One victory road later, and let's get into those league battles, shall we? I went in at level 72, not super duper high, but high enough to where I can withstand some attacks and deal back some good damage. Lorelei's up first, and wow, Ice-type moves sure are the bane of me. She was actually the one that took me the most attempts, seeing as Dugong and Lapras are very bulky and have high HP, so I can't take them out with 2 Nightshades each and call it a day, and even when I could two-shot them with Psychic, I'd still get KO'd with Ice Beam. So I gave it the Quick Claw and hoped that it would keep me alive and KO faster, and after a few attempts it ended up working out. Lorelei leads with Dugong, so I went for Psychic for half as she used Safeguard, finishing her off with a second and leading to Lapras. It ended up not hitting me with a single Ice move, instead going for Confuse Ray as I hit a Psychic for about a third, finishing it with a crit and leading to Slowbro. I swapped over to Nightshade as she went for Amnesia, snapping out of Confusion and going for Aerial Ace to keep it out of healing range, but then an Ice Beam finally came, doing well over half before I finished it off with another Nightshade, with Jinx out 4th. I used Aerial Ace, getting a crit and KOing in one shot, leading to Cloyster. Thanks for leaving this until the end, that's an easy KO with Psychic thanks to its paper-thin special defense. With Lorelei out of the way though, it's actually kinda funny, since I beat both Bruno and Agatha in one attempt afterwards due to my type advantage. Bruno's Onyx and Hitmonchan were one-shots with Psychic, with only Machamp barely surviving and hitting a Scary Face. Somehow, it was still in full restore range after a Citrus Berry, so I hit another Psychic, lowering its special defense so it doesn't even matter if it heals, but instead he went for a weak Cross Chop as I KO'd and led to Hitmonlee. It's the only thing on his team to outspeed at this point, so it hits a massive Mega Kick before being one-shot with Psychic, leading to his last Onyx, who also outspeeds and hits Double Edge. But it's not stab, so it doesn't matter as I hit a Psychic to KO and win the battle. Can't say that that was too shocking. Onyx's special defense isn't too good, and having 2 type advantages over fighting types really helps to make this battle super easy. However, third on our list is Agatha, and since she uses all poison types, her battle was won in one attempt as well. She leads with her first Gengar, getting outsped in one shot, leading to Golbat, also a one shot. Third out is Arbok, probably the bulkiest Pokemon on her team, but it's also a one shot, leading to Gengar number 2. Shockingly, it's also a one shot, as is Haunter. Welp, guess that wasn't a problem. Okay then, now that that end of the line of the easiness is over, Lance is pretty darn strong. This is because of how Gyarados isn't a two-shot with anything that Natu has. Though, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm sure Fly would have been a two-shot if I had replaced Aerial Ace with it, but hey, hindsight is 20/20. And I'm gonna repeat that into Oblivion. Either way, it took me around 10 attempts to finally find the balance between using attacks and Wish to heal me up and survive through everything. Gyarados is Lance's first Pokemon, and I hit a critical Psychic to start off, getting hit with a super effective Bite. He heals because of it, so I went ahead and used Wish, getting a second Psychic afterwards and lowering his special defense before getting hit with Dragon Rage, healing almost back to full and finishing it off with a third Psychic. Now if you thought Gyarados was bad, Aerodactyl's up next and he annihilates me with Ancient Power usually. But this time I managed to get past him with two Psychics, with the second of them being a Quick Claw activation leading to his first Dragonair. Went for Wish since I knew it would go for Thunder Wave immediately, which activates Synchronized to slow him down just as much. But I follow up with Psychic as he misses with Hyper Beam, leading to my Wish healing me up, but his Shed Skin activates straight after and gets rid of Paralysis, but then I get another Quick Claw activation to KO with Nightshade before getting hit with anything else. Second Dragonair's out next and he uses Safeguard as I did half with Nightshade, so I went ahead and went for Wish as I got hit with Outrage, hitting a Nightshade after a second Outrage landed, KOing, healing, and leading to his last Pokemon, Dragonite. He misses with Hyper Beam straight away as I hit Psychic, leading to a third Quick Claw pop this battle, KOing with a critical Psychic to win the battle. Alright, well, that wasn't too hard, and honestly, that was the last hard thing for the run since the rival battle went really well, allowing me to win on my first attempt. The fact that the majority of these battles in the league were first try victories really tells me that, yeah, this is just about as good as Chinchou. Rival Boy here leads with Pidgeot as I go for Psychic, lowering his special defense as I get hit with Sand Attack, finishing off with a second Psychic, leading to Gyarados. Lord, how I hate these things. I just kept pumping out Psychics, hitting one before getting hit with Dragon Rage, so I went for Wish to heal up as I took a second one, healing after a second Psychic and a Thrash, bringing me down just a 5 HP before I healed and finished it off with a third Psychic, leading to Rhydon. It's a two-shot with Psychic, missing a Rock Tomb and leading to Alakazam, where I went for Wish immediately since I resist Psychic types. But Psychic does over half of my remaining HP, but after hitting a near half damage Aerial Ace, he idiotically goes for Future Sight, allowing me to heal up to around 3/4 HP. Next turn I went for Aerial Ace, barely not finishing off after locking it into a Recover Stall War before taking the Future Sight attack, so I went for Wish as he went for Reflect, so I went over to Nightshade as I took a Psychic, going down to 2 HP before healing with Wish, so I went for another Wish as he used a full Restore. Then realized that Alakazam was a two-shot with Nightshade, so I just did that and took one last Psychic, healing with Wish, then hitting a final Nightshade to KO and lead to Executor. I figured it would go down in 2 Aerial Aces, but it's a 3-shot instead. He misses his first Sleep Powder, but the second one lands after my second Aerial Ace, effectively dooming me. But he misses with 2 Egg Bombs and only hits one before I wake up, hitting one last Aerial Ace to get it to his last Pokemon, Charizard. I went for Wish immediately as he misses with Fire Blast, then went for Nightshade as he went for a second Fire Blast, missing yet again, so I follow up with a Psychic, getting a crit and winning the match. Dang, that was a hell of a back and forth battle if I've ever seen one. But the fact that I won on my first attempt was freaking insane. And at level 75 to boot, that's the second lowest level next to Chinchou. But you know what's even crazier? I finished the run with a time of 5 hours and 50 minutes. That's nearly 2 hours faster than Chinchou. Oh, shoot, guess we need to try Elite Four Round 2. This is clearly the best Pokemon we've had so far, so let's go ahead and get into that. So, I haven't mentioned this before, but there's a requirement of catching 60 Pokemon to get into the postgame. To make this fair, I usually just adjust the dex total to a caught total of 60, so that I can just go ahead and go, since there's no time differences between each Pokemon that gets to this point. Anyway, I didn't do the 7 Islands before, so I went ahead and hopped my way to Cinnabar to talk to Bill to get over there, heading over to 2 Island to deliver a meteorite to a dude, but his daughter's on 3 Island, so I took out a Hypno to rescue her, delivered it, then went back to the mainland. Alright, with that I can get the National Dex and head back to the Islands again. Just a few more things before we can get back to the League, and that's clearing out Team Rocket off of 4 Island, then getting the Sapphire in 6 Island, but the scientist decides to take it, so I have to wreck Team Rocket hideout on 5 Island before I can get it and boot up the co-regional trade station. Now I can go ahead and try to challenge the League, but I can't even 2-shot Lorelei's Dugong, so it's grinding time. I decided to use the 2 cool trainers over on 7 Island that both have 5 Pokemon teams, and use the VS Seeker to get the most efficient training without slowing down too much until I got to around level 85. This was made super easy thanks to Natu being able to learn Calm Mind, a move that boosts both my special attack and special defense, so I'm able to do a lot more damage with Psychic. I figured I'd stick to level 85 here too since it's a good benchmark, and if this attempt doesn't work, I'll just go for level 90 and go from there. So getting back to the League, of course Lorelei ended up being the biggest pain in the bum again since I'm weak to ice types. It took a few attempts, but I finally did take her down. This is because our lead Dugong uses a ton of double teams, so I just combated those with Calm Minds, since ice type moves are special, making it a lot easier to survive. She used 2 ice beams before I went for Wish and Psychic to take her out, healing as Cloyster came out, and from there it was just basically a sweep, as Cloyster, Piloswine, and Lapras were one-shots leading to Jinx. Even at plus 6 though, Psychic is still not a one-shot, so she puts me to sleep with Lovely Kiss, but I made sure to have a Chesto Berry equipped to wake up, using Aerial Ace as she healed, finishing it off with the second one to win the fight. Not bad, and I'm sure that Bruno and Agatha will be just as easy as before. Oh, I guess Bruno's not as easy now that he's evolved his Onyxes into Steelixes, which both resist Psychic-type attacks. Well, he starts with his first Steelix, so I went for Wish and Calm Mind, alternating between the two so they wouldn't be able to knock out Natu. He lands a few Rock Tombs and Iron Tails, but misses a few just as well as I kept alternating, eventually being able to near one-shot Steelix with Psychic, so of course he uses a full restore, so I healed to full with Wish, before KOing with Psychic, Hitmonchan coming out second. It landed a Rock Slide immediately before I KO'd with Psychic, leading to Hitmonlee, which this attempt I decided to give Natu a Citrus Berry to give me a 30 HP boost, leading to a one-shot with Hitmonlee with Psychic, same with Machamp, leaving just a second Steelix. He missed with Iron Tail as I nearly KO'd, lowering his special defense, so after he healed I just one-shot him thanks to the decrease, winning the match. Alright, 2 tries ain't too bad, let's see how I do with Agatha. Well, first try I actually lost to her Mischievous since I barely didn't KO since I got hit with a massive Thunderbolt. Nothing to be deterred by, I just need to use another Calm Mind to make that not happen. Agatha starts with Gengar number 1, so I used Calm Mind as she missed with Hypnosis, then used another as I got hit with Shadow Ball. Alright, 2 should be enough to run through her entire team, and sure enough, a Psychic apiece ran through it, those being Crobat, Gengar, Mischievous, and Arbok, winning the fight and getting to Lance. Well, that was fast. So I decided with this fight that I needed to give Natu a Cherry Berry since Gyarados has Thunder Wave, which lets me paralyze it with Synchronize. So I set up with 6 Calm Minds and just swept through his entire team with Psychic, KOing Gyarados, Kingdra, Dragonite, Aerodactyl, who actually outsped and hit a massive Ancient Power for about 3/4 of my health, and Dragonite number 2, winning me the fight and leading to the champion once again. Gotta admit, Calm Mind is super helpful for getting through round 2, and I'm glad I actually get to use it as opposed to most other Pokemon. Before heading in though, I healed up and gave Natu my last rare candy, so let's whoop some round 2 booty. I found this to be a bit of a pain, as my first attempt getting the Tyranitar reminded me of how I can't touch it with Psychic, so I attempted to use Steel Wing to take him down, but I decided that it would be a smarter idea to just use Giga Drain, since it's a super effective attack that can also take advantage of Calm Mind due to being special. He starts with Heracross, who probably had the worst Rock Tomb luck ever, since he misses twice, used Counter, then missed twice again before I KO'd with Psychic, leading to Alakazam. I ended up using a bunch of Calm Minds during that, so I made sure to outspeed and hit it with Psychic to KO, one shot with a non-very effective move that's pretty hype, leading to Tyranitar. It sets up Sandstream, hitting me slightly, so I hit it with Giga Drain for the KO, leading to Gyarados. I'm sure you already realize what's occurring, and yeah, that's a one-shot on Gyarados and Charizard with Psychic, leading to Exeggutor. The Sandstorm is actually still up, since that's how Sandstream works. So even though Psychic wasn't a one-shot, it barely wasn't. So the Sand finished off Exeggutor after landing a single attack, winning me the match and the Round 2 championship at level 89, with a time of 7 hours and 58 minutes. Dang, sub 8 hours for Round 2 with no double team. I will absolutely take it. Despite Natu being 6 levels higher, I beat the challenge 45 minutes faster. So clearly, Natu had the advantage. I feel like if I had slapped Calm Mind on Natu even earlier than this, I would have taken this challenge down even faster, but I figured using a boosting move to run through the majority of the run would be quite boring, just about as boring as using Double Team, but hey, can't complain. Natu's at the top of the leaderboard, as all things should be, so anyway, next time on the 386 challenge, we'll be taking on the Kanto region with possibly the most notable Johto Pokemon that isn't a starter, Mareep. See you guys then. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can get the non-subbed viewership percentage down to 60%. And while you're at it, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and turn on notifications so that you'll be shown when these videos are going live and when premieres are going down, since I like to chat with you guys as we watch the runs together. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, I'll see you next time.